Hi, this is Stray Pastor. This is my review of BlackKklansman. This is, of course, based on a true story about a police officer that infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan, I think back in the 50s and 60s. I think it was the 60s. But anyway, this movie stars John David Washington, who plays Ron Starworth. He's, of course, the son of Denzel Washington. He's on Ballers. And he plays Ron Starworth, the first African American in Colorado's. They decided to bring him on to be the first African American police officer in this district, and he decides, they put first, of course, they put him at, put him in records, and he decides that, he's bored with that, and he wants to really do something. And one day he sees an ad, recruiting for the Ku Klux Klan, and he decides to give him a call, and calls him up where he basically introduces himself like you see in the trailer, and he kind of represents himself as as a white man that hates blacks and hates Jews and all that other stuff, and he actually gets invited to join. And of course, he can't go. So he appeals to his chief, played by Robert John Burke, that if they can go undercover, he could be Ron Starworth on the phone, but he can send another white officer, to meet with them in person, and so they can infiltrate the Klan and bust them, before they do any terrorist acts. And of course, the chief is skeptical about this, but they do that, and they of course bring in an officer named Flip Zimmerman, played by Adam Driver, and he's going to be Ron Starworth in person. He's going to meet with the Ku Klux Klan guys and infiltrate them and try to find out what their plans are. And of course, there's other characters in this movie, as Laura Harrier, who was in Spider-Man: Homecoming. She was not Gwen Stacy. She was the love interest of Peter Parker. The girl, I forgot the girl's name, the character he was crushing on. But anyway, she plays Patricia Dumas. She's the leader of the local college black, I forgot what they call it, but the black student movement and stuff. And of course, Ron meets her one day when he's undercover getting information, trying to get information about their activities. And he meets her, and he kind of likes her, and he kind of forms a kind of relationship with her. In the meantime, while he's at the same time helping with this investigation to try to find out, what the Klan are planning and what they're doing. And this movie, I really like this movie a lot. It's a little long. It's about 2 hours and 14 minutes. I think they could have cut it down a little bit. But I found this movie very enjoyable, especially I like John David Washington as Ron Stark. The only other thing I ever saw him in was, of course, Ballers, which I think he's good in that. But he was really good as Ron Stark. He really wants to be, a cop and wants to do a good job and stuff, and he's really dedicated to it. And he's, he really has a drive to do this. And of course, you have Adam Driver, who plays Flip Zimmerman. Of course, he wants to do this, but at first, of course, he's not really all in to this at first. But I thought he was a good character as well. And then, of course, you have what's the guy's name? I can't remember his name. The guy from the guy from the '70s show. He plays, of course, David Duke, and you get to see him a bunch of times in this movie. And I thought he was really good as well. I forgot the actor's name. I can't remember his name. But he was really good too as well. And then you also have all these other characters in there that are like the local Klan members that Adam Driver meets with, and they're hilarious in a backwards kind of way. But again, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. And the fact that it's based on a true story does make it compelling. And it's I thought they did a good job. Spike Lee did a good job with the direction of it. Like I said, I think it's a little long. They could have cut some of the time down on it, but I thought overall it was a really good, interesting movie. It kept my attention all the way through, and I think you get good performances again, especially out of John David Washington and also Adam Driver. I thought he was good, and the guys that played the local Klan guys, I thought they were good as well. And Laura Harrier, who plays the local the black head of the black young college activist group. I thought she was good as well, and I thought there were a lot of good a lot of good. So we also had a good sense of humor in it as well as the drama and stuff. And I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really well done movie. Like I said, it's a little long. I think they could have cut some of the time down, but I thought it was a really good movie, really interesting. And the fact that it's based on a true story, it makes it even more, which makes you want to read the real story about it. But I thought they did a really good job, Spike Lee, with the direction, and I thought the acting was good as well in this. And like I said, I think it's a little long. They could have cut maybe 10 minutes off of it, but I thought they did a really good job with this movie, and I definitely can see. I know not Jordan Peele produced this movie along with Spike Lee, and I thought this movie was really well done. Again, good cast, I think good acting, and good writing for this. And again, it's topical for what's going on in the world right now. And I thought they did a really good job with a story that I didn't even know existed. Okay, so overall, I'm gonna give BlackKklansman, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Again, I really enjoyed it. I thought the acting was good. Even the guys that played the Klan guys, I thought they were really good too. Some of them were dumb, some of them were conniving, but I thought they did a really good job overall with the movie. And I definitely would recommend this. Again, a 7.5 for me for BlackKklansman. Anyway, let me know what you think of this movie. If you've seen it, what do you think of it? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram in the description box, as well as links to my other channel called Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.